Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus once again, guys, giving you more than the meta. So I'm going to be showing you a video of a defense I'm developing right now that uses match principles. It's a match defense. It also has man coverages and stuff like that. It has a back pocket blitz and other methods to help you guys attack your opponent and really keep them guessing. Now, I ran into a fairly good opponent. The guy has got, won a lot of games and stuff like that. I think a little bit over 228 games, 100 losses and stuff like that. So the guy knows exactly what he's using. He's an Eagles player, so he had a very good Eagles team. He diagnosed this defense and made some pretty good adjustments and basically got some pretty good plays. But also on the flip side, he struggled with this defense too. And this is, once again, this is a reiteration of me building out this Okie Roll 2 defense and learning the weaknesses and stuff like that. So this is good tape primarily because you find out where the weaknesses of a defensive front that you have and how you need to correct it in game. So this is really good tape to look at. So once again, the primary play that I'm going to be using is the Okie Roll cover 2, Okie Roll 2, and then I'll be jumping into different types of formations against my opponent, or different plays against my opponent. It's going to be out of this dollar formation, and then basically just to kind of go back, my audibles that I have set up, and let's see if I can get back to this real quick. Let's see, jump into this, see if I can time this correctly, because I think I jumped onto my audibles right. So here are my audibles. Basically I've got a man coverage here, which is the edge blitz 1. I like this because I can quickly jump into this and just change my defense completely with the edge blitz 1, and I'm still using the nickelback that I like to use as my player, and he's a free agent. He can go wherever I want. And I've also got a guy over the top. Spinner is also great. This is a great fourth down play where you need to change something against your opponent. Now, I could essentially go ahead and use the edge blitz for spinner, but the problem with it is that it's going to get your guys out of, you're not going to have everybody completely lined up, and then you could get quick snapped. Cover 6, show 4 is something I should have been jumping into. I didn't actually jump into that just because of the way this guy's running his offense, and then you'll see me running a lot of cover 3 against this guy and using this for run fits and how to stop the run. So I scored 7 points, long drive for me. He actually comes out of the gun trips tight end flex, which is perfect. And really, it's this cover 6, show 4 is a defense that I should be using against this, but I wanted to test this just to see. So first thing I always do is I'm going to base a line. I'm leaving basically my ball and air defense balance. I don't find any kind of a difference with that. I went ahead, took my option. I always go ahead and put it on conservative because I want to go ahead and stop the QB more than anything else. So I want to stop that QB if my opponent's using. I'm going to go ahead and put tackle on conservative, and then I'm going to go all the way down to match and just put myself on default because that's what I'm going to actually use. So 4 seconds left right here in this type of situation. I need to go ahead and find my base play, and my base play is the Okie Roll. So this is my base play, and then I actually audible out of this. Typically what I like to do with this defense is use cover 3 and see what my opponent likes to do against cover 3 match. So here's a defense setup. If I can, I'll close this line up and actually go ahead and take my guys and spread out you actually slant them to the outside. And my job, because this guy's blitzing in, I'm actually going to use her right over the middle of the field, and I'm going to try to go ahead and hit some run fits against my opponent. So I've got a couple run fits right here. This guy's going to fall back because he's a deep third, and then obviously you got these guys, they're going to fall back because they're in deep thirds, so they don't have any kind of run fit responsibility. He actually snaps the ball really quick, does an RPO, freezes my defenders, and then they actually come down and actually go ahead and hit the ball. So this guy's a runner to begin with. He only picks up 3 yards, so not a bad situation for there. But basically I wanted to see what this guy wants to do with his offense. So cover 3 CM is my base defense. Once again, I jump into cover 3 once again because he's actually in this trip set. And I want to make sure that I'm going to see what he's going to do with his stuff. So if he does any kind of crossing routes, I've got a bunch of guys in the area. I've got a seam flat and all that type of stuff. See how this line is bunched up. I need to spread these guys out. So I don't have it. I pinched or slanted it in the defensive line, and actually should be going the opposite direction. He slides his tight end out. I don't know exactly why he's doing that, but he goes once again with another RPO type play. I think it was a read option, and you can see the leverage is actually pretty good right there. I've got really good leverage with my defensive guys, but he is able to hit the corner with the blocking and pick up some pretty good yards with that run. But you can see he only picks up 4 yards. So, you know, I'm not really mad about that run defense. If I'm only giving up 3 yards a shot with run defense, all I have to do is get a splash play against him, and I'm actually going to do pretty well. So he no huddles, and right here I stay into the Okie roll defense. Actually, no, I jump into man coverage, and you can see how these guys are all manned up. I still got basically my blitz responsibility right there. I'm going to pinch up the line. He runs the ball once again, and right here I actually get a nice little gap shoot to get him in a 4th and 3 situation. So he didn't get any yards on that, and that's a good situation to be in. So he no huddles right here. I haven't seen what his money play is. I don't know what he likes to do in a money play, but I decided to go in cover 2 with the anticipation he's not going to run the ball again. The problem with the Okie roll 2 is that if I make any kind of line adjustment, it basically will reset the defense. And that causes some problems with it. So that's the only problem I like with the Okie roll, is that it doesn't allow me to make any kind of like adjustment with the defensive line. So, but what he does is he actually comes out right here just with the simple verticals concept. I have to take away the 3, and I'm trying to get leverage on a 3 in this type of situation. The route underneath it is what he throws to. Makes a really good read. Good decision right there. And that was a quick snap play. So he goes to verticals is his money play. So you're going to see verticals coming back against me. And this is a play that actually, running a stock is a play that I've actually been concerned about with this defense. So I'm going to have to take a look at some type of a defense that's going to successfully cover this up. But I ran in cover 2 just because I didn't really have anything that I thought to myself, it's like, how am I going to be able to lock this play up in this play? So I'm going to get in a lab this week. I'm going to try to figure out, you know, exactly a good defense to go and lock up verticals, a quick snap verticals, because it is a tough play to run against. So back at it again. I got cover 3 coverage. I got my run fits set up, and here's the play that I think he gets a big play against. He goes ahead and motions the guy across. And I don't know what adjustments he's making right here, but I think he blocks his guys. I think this guy's a vertical, this guy's a vertical, and this guy's a vertical in this type of situation. I think this is what I remember. Okay, so seam flat should carry, but he doesn't. This defensive back is kind of flat-footed. This guy's carrying correctly, so he's running just, you know, vertical routes. This is wide open. So that cover 3 seam did not match correctly, and he actually had a touchdown, but he actually threw to the contested side. He throws over here, but this guy's flat-footed. He didn't fall back correctly, and he's able to go ahead and get a nice little, you know, aggressive catch right over the middle of me right there and get a play. So cover 3 seam, I don't think is a really good defense against this type of a trip set. So we're gonna have to go ahead and play around the lab. But you can see he went back to verticals, which is the base play. And this is a play I was definitely concerned about when I got into, you know, when I've been labbing this defense, is that this is going to be a play that I'm going to have to lab. So I'm going to look at cover 4 and see if I can get something set up. Here's a good play right here. So he's actually in a spread offense. And he's got spread. He's got 2 receivers over here, and he's got 2 receivers over here, and he's got his running back on this side of the field. Take a look at this play. It's a simple slants play. All he does is he motions this guy over. I'm playing just cover 2 just to see what he's doing. I'm more concerned about the run in this type of situation. Guy gets set, and basically this is kind of like a flat route pulling stuff underneath. He's got 2 slants on the back side, and then he's got a table slash, table route right here. And because these guys get pulled out, and if these man coverage, what's going to happen right here in this type of situation, he throws this ball, which is just wide open. So good read. He's going to come back to this again against me to basically get his 2-point conversion. So that's a good, this is a good play to throw into your scheme. And what he's doing is he's basically taking, 4 wide receivers on one side and he's overwhelming the defense. So it's a really good decision to do that. So probably the smart thing to do is put some type of a zone drop on that back side like that. So back at it again right here. He's got basically a tray set. He's got, basically 3 wide receivers out here spread out. He's got this guy right here. I'm using my user guy right here. Actually didn't have the right defense set up. I jumped into spinner, and it's just I should have been in the cover 1 version of this where this guy's a deep, and these guys are all matched up correctly. I've got something running back down on this side, but I jump in the wrong defense. But because I have quick audibles for man, I've got an opportunity to go ahead and take away a fast read. So because this safety came biting down, he knows he has one-on-one coverage, and he takes a shot up top. Not necessarily a bad decision. I just get a really good animation against this guy to be able to go ahead and get a nice little interception. So that's actually a good decision, from a football standpoint. If there's no safety over the top of the coverage, you got one-on-one, you've got a starred receiver against, a mediocre to average type of defensive back. That's not a bad decision. So I get the turnover in that type of situation. But this guy's got really good defense. So he ends up getting the ball back from me. Gets me on I think he went into a half coverage, and his defensive back actually played a sideline pass where I was reading cover 3. He did a hybrid adjustment to catch me off guard. So he comes back at it again right here with basically a tight formation. He's got his 1, his 2, and his 3 over here, and I've got a 1 and 2 over here. And I think what happens is I might have been just jumping into, let's see. Okay, so this is where I was in spinner again. Didn't have the right defense set up. Let's see if I go and adjust. I jumped into this particular play right here, which is going to be that edge blitz 1, because now it's going to man everybody up. He goes ahead and makes an adjustment, and take a look what happens. Because he flips the play, and because I have this play set up, I get these guys out of position. So on a previous gameplay, I was giving up touchdowns because I didn't have my guys set up. All you do is just reset the play. You reset the play, your defense will be set up correctly. So you can see how I got myself set up now. I got a defensive back that's going to play this guy, I've got these guys over the top. I stay in there. So just reset the play. He actually takes a delay of game, and I'm able to go ahead and go on a 1st and 15. So now he jumps into basically an empty set. Typically in empty sets, what I like to do is just run cover 2 and see how he matches up to that. My responsibility is the 3. So you got the 1, the 2, and the 3. And I have to match up to this guy with my user, because this guy's going to match, he's going to match, this guy's going to match the number 2, this guy's going to match the number 1. I have to lock into the number 3. And my responsibility is to carry the number 3 and protect the middle of the field more than anything else. And if the number 3 goes out and none of these guys go in, basically, if it's any kind of a situation like this where these guys vertical out and then I've got an out like this, my responsibility is to go to the number 3. Now, I don't know if he read this correctly or he came back to it. So right here, I go ahead and do a QB contain because I did have time. I guess he was making some adjustments. He motions over Sanders, so now Sanders is matched up with this guy. This guy's matched up over here, but I still got this 3 is my responsibility. That's what I'm going to be looking for over the middle of the field. What's cool about this play sometimes is you'll get this guy off the edge. We'll get a clean look. I have to defend this guy, so this is the area that I'm going to. And right here actually hits me with a China concept, I believe. So he's got 2 digs, and then he's got a corner out. And my responsibility is to come down and play these in routes right here. You can see how I actually came down and I flipped down. Because I know that what happens is this guy's going to let this guy go and then back up. And I've got basically a guy over the top with that. I do not get an animation right here where I don't get like an interception, but that could have been a pickoff right there in that type of situation. So that's what's great about cover 2 match, is that a lot of people don't read it correctly, and they think they're going to be able to hit those different areas because the match concept, unless he's actually clearing out that route, you know, a Y corner concept like this is not going to beat Okie roll match type coverage. So now, second and 15 type of situation, I jump into basically a cover 3 here. I decide to go ahead and blitz this guy. So I blitz all linebackers just with the hope that I'm going to actually get some more pressure in. But this is what he does with the way he's running his offense. My responsibility of the blitzer now is to take away this guy right here. That's my responsibility because I've got these other two guys manned up, and I've got some help over the middle of the field. But what he does is he pulls this guy over here, and I've got basically 4 wide receivers off to the left. So now I should reset my offense. I should basically go ahead and reset. So I've got some guys out here that's going to play this type of stuff. I could put this guy in a flat or into a hook, but I didn't make any adjustments. So just watching it happen, I wasn't making any kind of adjustments against this guy. He blocks his running back, and I think he's got basically a guy going over the middle of the field. He's got basically these type of concepts right here. I have to play the seam. The seam is wide open. He gets nice leverage right here. And this defensive back, this defensive guy, Bates, is not in position. Gets a nice little completion and gets the ball down to the 20-yard line. All really good plays, good concepts. It's good to see stuff like this when you're developing a defense, just to see what your opponents are doing and what your weaknesses are. So back at it again. I quickly jumped in, I think, in cover 3. I get an edge off, guy off the edge to go ahead and tackle him. And he takes a timeout. Now he goes in empty base. Right here, once again, empty base. I like to run cover 2, and my responsibility is going to be the number 3. I just have to watch number 3 and just let everything else develop. I think he went into levels concept right now. I did a contain blitz. He's got a whip over here, so he's got a whip route right here. This is something he audibled into, and then he's got essentially 2 trail routes. And because of the way this defense was set up, I can get this edge guy off the edge sometimes. And I'm able to go ahead and potentially get him to sack, which it would have been an ideal situation to get him sacked because it would have forced him to burn a timeout and lose a couple more seconds off the clock. So back at it again. He's doing a close set. Here's a situation where I basically could have got an interception. He's just, I think he, let's see what he does with this. He's got basically a route underneath. I think he's got a corner route, and then he's got kind of a seam route over the left. I shouldn't have chased the corner. I should have fell back into the zone. He throws the inside zone and gets a nice completion right there. So just really good read, decision by him. Risky because it was by my user. But hey, man, if you play against me, I got terrible user. I do not react well to balls in the air. I don't get interceptions. It just seems like I never get myself in a position, or even when I'm in position and I have my body around, he makes a really good decision and actually pretty much, I think, played the play pretty much stock. He blocked everybody, and then he hit me with the deep post that got inside my cover 2 shell. So back at it again in cover 2. Down here, actually, I think what I did is I pinched up my line. I was able to get that adjustment, and then in this type of situation, I put Bell. I use her Bell because it just gives me a little bit more freedom with this blitz. He goes back to the triple slants with a table route underneath it. I come running out to the table, but I'm out of position, and I actually get bumped by the slants, and he throws inside right there. Gets a nice little inside leverage. That could have been an interception and gone 6 points the other way. And I'll just tell you something like this. This ended up being huge. These 2-point conversions he was getting were huge in this game. Really, really huge in this game. So, first series, back at it again. He's got a chance to go up by basically, 3 possessions against me. I'm just going to go in and run in cover 2 right here. Should be in cover 3 because he's most likely going to run. And he does a jet sweep and gets me slightly out of position. Nice little play right there. The problem, because I was in cover 2 and he did a jet sweep, is that I can't over pursue because I have to protect those gaps. So I can't. The way, yeah, doing a jet sweep like that, I have to protect the gaps. So he goes into empty set here. I'm going to stay with this cover 2 coverage once again, and my responsibility is to protect against this guy. Now, he hasn't ran the ball at all. This guy has been very, very good. He knows how to pass. He doesn't run the ball at all. I'm going to do contain out here because obviously he's got a very fast quarterback. My responsibility is to carry with the 3. These guys clear out, and you can see right here he's just got high-low. You got to take away the high. You can't go low. And as a result, he checks it down and actually gets pretty good yards. So this is a good decision by him, but that's all right. Cover 2 is a bend don't break type defense. It's like you're not going to be able to throw over the top of me, but you might make a mistake underneath it, and a lot of people do make mistakes against cover 2. So here's cover 3. Previously, what I'm concerned about is this guy. Is this guy going to get in the seam? I'm going to close up the box and try to defend against this against the run. He does do the run right here. I get a guy in the backfield. He breaks a tackle. As a result, I'm able to go ahead and just keep him for the 3-yard gainer. He goes into the wing slot offset. Why you want to have cover 3 is that it's going to have better run fits. Right here, he's got basically, he's got his tight ends right here, but he's got his guy off to the left. So he's most likely going to run this way if it's an inside zone. And he's in a situation right now that he can milk the clock because he's up by, basically, 16-7. He's in a good situation. So he motions his guy over, meaning he's going to basically overwhelm the side. So I'm going to slide my defensive line over too. So basically they're going to be covering up this gap. I've got this guy just going to come down and play this run fit. I've got these 2 guys. So if he blocks, this guy's going to come down. And I've got another guy coming down in this fit. My responsibility is to try to look for one of the run fits over here. And you can see they double this guy right here. And I think I slid over into this gap right here because I know that this guy is clean with the run gap. So I'm just getting vertical with my run fit. And this guy can't get out to this run. And he freezes. He doesn't know where to go because I've got another run fit right here. And as a result, we just bottle him up. And I think he loses a couple yards with that. So he doesn't get a yardage. So this is the type of stuff this is why run cover 3 seam is to be able to stop the run, making sure I can shut down the run. I can go ahead and slide my defensive line against him. He no huddles. He doesn't like that in this type of situation. Goes to the same play. Now I go ahead and let's see here. I jump into basic man coverage. And he takes a shot up top. Doesn't get a good pass. He's actually had a step on me. But because I jumped in man coverage, that caught him off guard. He's seen these zones. I quickly jumped in man coverage. And as a result, he tried to take a shot over the top. And as a result, I'm able to go and get it down. So, game's real tight now. Now he's in a situation. He's up by 2 points. I'm down by 2. I need to get a stop. And I'm going to go ahead and keep running this defense. I'm not jumping in any other defense because this is my new scheme. I'm going to go ahead and run in cover 2 because I've got this guy in the box. Because I've got that guy in the box, I just feel like it's a little bit more of a threatening front. He motions his guy over, so he's definitely going to run this way. And I think what he did is he was doing read options. So go ahead and take a look. I don't know what he's doing as far as adjustments concerned. So right here, read option. I like to contain. I like the leverage. This guy's coming over here. I can shoot this gap right here. We both get taken out by this offensive lineman. And he makes a good little spin move right here against the defensive back and actually picks up pretty good yards. So good move by him, but I do like the run fits. The run fits are actually pretty strong with this. Now he's running read option. I typically, when it comes to my defense at option, I typically go ahead and use conservative where I'm actually focusing on the QB. But because he was running read option for basically his running game, using his defensive back, I'm going to switch it to aggressive. And we're going to focus on dives and pitches and stuff like that, and actually get away from the quarterback. I'm like, you're going to beat me with your quarterback now because you haven't used your quarterback the entire game. So that's the adjustment we're going to do. We're going to go trips tight end flex. So right here, I'm expecting him to run, so I think I stayed in cover 3, bunched up the line. Should slide the line over a little bit. Your best bet right now is to slide this over and not get that outside run. So we're going to go ahead and set this up. His guy slid in a little bit, so he might have jumped into a different play with a scheme. I decided to go ahead and man this guy up. He's still going to play a run fit, and this guy's going to play a run fit too. But I just decided to go ahead and do that. He's working the clock too right now as we speak. Runs the ball. And right here, I'm able to go ahead and tackle him for a 7-yard gainer. And I take a timeout in this type of situation. So my goal right now is just to get one more stop. Make sure if I can get my stops before the 2-minute warning, so it gives me plenty of time to score. So he goes back in the trips again. This is perfect. This is the gameplay that you want to play. You want to play against someone who's going to run an offense that's a common offense and find the holes and weaknesses in the defense. So we're going to go ahead and motion this guy over. I bunch up my line. I think in this, I go back into cover 3. Got my line slid off to the left, and he runs the ball once again. And I get myself a nice little block shed right there, but he actually picks up pretty good yards right there. That didn't work out as good as I want to, and I go into goal line right here. I do stop the clock, just to go do this, and he's able to go and pick up some pretty good yards. So I got to work on my goal line defense. I know that there's a play out there. So back at it again. Basically, just using cover 1 man. And what I did is I took this guy and I put him in a spy, so he's going to play run fist right away. And I should be getting the outside leverage right here. So I'm tempting him to go this way. You can go this way. I've got a spy out here who's going to come down and play the edge and take away the reads. And I'm going to come over here and defend this side right here because he has a wing formation off to the right side. So you can see how I've got the leverage right now. I can still get to the outside, and I've got these guys playing run fits. He goes with a fake run right here, and you see how this fits. He has got nowhere to go with it. He does a fake jet sweep type situation. He's got nowhere to go with it. So now I go ahead and burn my last timeout, and now it's milk and cookies time for him. All he has to do is get one more first down. This game's pretty much over with if he can do that. Go at it, 2nd and 10 situation, and I go with basically a blitz all. My 2 linebackers cover 2 because he's showing that he wants to milk this clock. He wants to knock this clock out as much as possible. So I'm going to blitz my linebackers. Go ahead and slant down the outside. I want to get a double team. I cut up this way. He actually reads it pretty good. He goes to the outside. But I got a defensive linebacker that actually he's blitzing in, so he's going right into the ball right away. So I get him in a 3rd and 11 with the Okie roll. Attacked immediately because he was in read option. That was his running play that he liked to use because what read option does is it freezes up the defensive end. It freezes him for a split second as you hand off the ball because he's got to play the quarterback. So that's why a lot of Madden players use read option as a running plays, is because it just gives them a better blocking situation. So 3rd and 11 situation right here, I go into man coverage with the anticipation that he's probably going to do that. He actually goes back to a run right here and be able to go and tackle him. He doesn't get much yards. And now he's in a 4th and 5 situation. And I think he actually no huddles. Does he no huddle here? No, actually takes it into the huddle. Edge blitz 1. Inside zone. Goes into doubles. Bad decision by him. This is why I have spinner. I leave spinner in my game because I want to actually have that edge blitz make someone make a fast decision when I need it. And all I really do is I just reset the defense. I just press my guys down, I've got this guy coming in. I got him coming in. I'm going to use one of the linebackers. So this guy's going to come in right here. I'm going to use this linebacker. And then if I make the adjustment correctly, I should do over the top coverage. So I don't know if I got that adjustment in. But I'm going to go ahead and play the line. Running back was wide open. But he took a shot up top. And look at this play by the defensive back. Played it perfectly. So I finally got a break with this particular play. Able to go ahead and get the ball with 55 seconds left with the hope to be able to go ahead and get the ball, run against this guy. So the guy knew what he's doing. Like, this guy's played 400 games. I'm assuming at least 400 games online. All Philadelphia. So he's playing with a stacked team. But I'm able to go ahead and catch him off guard with my defense with this scheme. So I'm going to keep labbing this stuff out, guys. I'm going to try to find some more stuff for you. But this is a defense that I'm using right now. And because it's always giving your opponent the same look, it's very difficult to read and pick up on the tendencies. And you can use blitzes, you can have blitzes in your back pocket, but that cover 2 match is just things that people don't normally go ahead and see in the game. So once again, guys, thank you for your support. If you do like these type of these tips and stuff, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for your support, guys. Until next time.